What's up, everyone? Welcome back to session 22. Today, you've got me by myself, I can't lie. But you know what? Short notice, and we've got a lot of technicalities that needed to be sorted out. So you're stuck with me. And I thought instead of wasting the time that I have, I could explain maybe a bit about what I do, about my journey on Upsurge, and how I've got to where I've got to now. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and let's get into it. So the first question is, how did you start? How did my journey begin and all of that stuff? And I'll be real, it was a bit different compared to what other people may experience, but I'll make it as easy and transparent as possible. I came into the music works around 2023. Prior to that, I just started a clothing brand with my cousin, been running it for roughly a year or so prior to me being, a part of the music works. And when I first came in, I came in the capacity of a clothing brand owner, so I helped out with certain things and was very blessed to be a part of the Knife Angels project, which was incorporated with the G. Cola album. And yeah, it was really, really cool. For the most part, people kind of forget, where you've come from. And in that point, I was fully, in a way, blessed. I felt really, really blessed to be a part of it, to see how things work behind closed doors, to be invited to the shoot for the music video of Should Have Known, I'm pretty sure it was. And yeah, obviously I'd made friends with people who were part of G Coda, with Trey. I knew him beforehand, but with Cal and Jaden, SM, Rio. So it was really, really cool. Now seeing them do something that was, to me, very inspirational and not many people can do. Anyway, separate to that, did that, was blessed as well to be a part of the YSA project, looking into underrepresentation in these bigger jobs, should I say. And when I was brought in for that, connected with Barbara, you get me, ended up being a really, really cool experience because, once again, didn't really have any, I never really thought about doing anything in a creative aspect. I never thought about doing anything in, a mental health, charitable aspect. I've always wanted to start my own charity, but it was when you're young, you think, oh, I got time. But in reality, this is the time you start. So, yeah, that was real cool. Afterwards, applied to be a community connector here at the Music Works, a role that's created by the young people, which I've probably said it so many times on other platforms, but basically finding out why ethnic minority backgrounds don't reach out to the NHS concerning mental health. So after doing that, being also integrated into the content team, that's when I started my Upsurge journey. So since we've highlighted how I began or how I started off my journey, how is it going now? What is the highlights of it and things like that? Well, obviously, I'm no longer an Upsurge anymore. I'm no longer a part of that side of it. I'm obviously still here at the Music Works on other capacities, but be real, Upsurge, the main thing for me, and I've said this to so many people, but the main thing for me was the networking aspect and getting to know people. That's something that I really struggled in. I'm not the most conversationally person when it comes to other people. I'm very shy, very anxious, so yeah, very introverted. So even though a lot of people probably disagree, nah, you chat's better, isn't it? But yeah, I'm very, very introverted. Yeah, with being a part of Upsurge and seeing so many really lovely people. And I made a TikTok not long ago about my appreciation for the people, and for the most part, majority of them I met through Upsurge, and how impactful they are to me, my career, my genuinely. And you may not give someone their flowers there and then and tell them yo, you're really helpful, but take the time to really appreciate them. And yeah, for me, networking, meeting people, it was so cool. And now having those personal connections where you can chat to them yo, I want to do the XYZ for the brand, you down, or yo, I'm making this, do you get me? And vice versa, they can shout at me maybe if they needed something for something, whatever. I think it all works out well, and I think that's the beauty of being in this industry. You get to meet people, understand people, what they're doing, and it's a whole I don't even know what to say. It's like a big come together, and everyone's like, okay, cool. This is what we're patterning. This is what we're doing. Boom, let's do it. And I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I'm really thankful for that, and I think that's genuinely my biggest, and it's one of my proudest moments to like. Not proudest. What should I call it? Like, it's one of like my favorite moments about being a part of Upsurge. What would be one of my highlights? I would say one of the highlights I have was, this is quite silly to be honest, in it, but when we went down to like Warner Chapel and Google, I think it was, and the Brits and stuff like that, one of the highlights I had, yeah, was, once again, it's so different to what people would say, but it was sharing a room with Peter and Shaka, and I don't even expect them to see this, but that in the whole of Upsurge, that was probably my favorite, one of my favorite bits, I would say. Watching like one of my best friends perform in Trey, that is up there for me. Crispin was cold. To be honest, I'll be real with you, I can go on about every single person, but one of my favorites would be sharing a house with them lot. I remember there's a time I was watching Super Mario. I think it was like Mario Brothers or something. And was it the twins or something? And that man just come and just started watching it with me. Or I remember when, yeah, like every day, Shaka and Peter will complain about me snoring and that because I had to go sleep before them. And yeah, speaking of music, as this is the Music Works, music has influenced me my whole life. Obviously, I grew up, I think I've said it before on here, but just to reiterate, I grew up on R&B for the most part. My mum, you know, that was her jam. 90s R&B, obviously early 2000s, and so on and so forth. So now that's literally my bag. Like, grew up on a Boyz II Men, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige. There's certain people I can't really say, but Usher, yeah, things like that. Like, that's the ones I can remember. And then obviously when I got a bit older, when I was like 5, 6, then it was like a Chris Brown. Still Usher was big there. Carrie Hilson was up there. Yeah, I can't really remember much. I remember like, T-Pain, Lil Wayne, that kind of era of music, 50 Cent, all of that. And then, yeah, the older I got, the more and more into music I got. Like, I don't think, and this is me being completely self-aware, I don't think I have the confidence to do music on like a get up there and perform kind of vibe. Like, nah. I've joked around and made music with like my cousin or Trey, people like that, but it's never been to a case of like, okay, cool, I would release this and that. Yeah, I'm aware enough to be like, this ain't my bag, this ain't something I would be interested in. Especially being around here, like, there's certain genres that I don't think I would have tapped into too tough, but like, kind of got me into it a little bit more. Like, I don't know, younger me would be like, what the hell, but house music slightly alright, you know. And when I say slightly alright, like, from the way I've been brought up, like, it won't be something that's a go-to, obviously. Drum and bass, I'm not the biggest fan of it, only because of like, it gives me a headache. But it's the same as like I'm a piano and stuff. Like, I'm not one of them, man, innit? Like, yeah, that gives me a headache as well after a while. But yeah, especially, you know, when you're sober and you're doing these ones in the club and stuff. So I don't think it really works. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna do some quick fire questions. I might keep this to be a repetition that I'll be asking all the hosts, or guests, should I say. The first song I ever loved was, apparently to my mum, it was either Lovin' This Club by Usher or Turn Up the Music by Chris Brown. Yeah, that's what my mum says, so we can't really argue with her. Next question is, favourite snack? I'll be real, my favourite snack, yeah, this is so rogue, slightly, but if anyone messes with this, then please message me. My favourite snack is flapjacks, right? But with raisins in it, or sultanas, but raisins in it. Flapjacks with raisins in it are the greatest invention ever, I can't lie to you. I'll wax them off differently. Favourite movie soundtrack? Or should I say favourite song from a movie? I did this recently with Georgia, so make sure you check out the YouTube shorts Orcs Wars. And my favorite movie song thingamajiggy, I'll be real, of all time might be Listen by Beyonce. Tonight, even though I don't think it, actually no, it is Tonight by John Legend, is a banger from, what film was that? Think Like a Man. And obviously I can't lie, recency bias, but Sinners, Last Time It's in the Sun. I think that's a very beautiful song. It reminds me of Slipping Through My Fingers, the Mamma Mia song. Question is dream collaboration. Right. Because of being in different bags, I can do one for each. So on the film aspect, when I'm doing film, I'll be real, my favorite actor of all time is Samuel Washington. Jesus, I'm so ill. My favorite actor of all time is Samuel Jackson. So, yeah, I'd have him as a dream collaboration on a film. On for the brand, for example, I don't know how that would work. Someone maybe who models for us. Susan Boyle, that'd be cold. Yeah, Susan Boyle would be different on that she models for us type vibe. Yeah, I know maybe she's not a celebrity nowadays, but yeah, Susan Boyle, wherever you're at, have a lot of love for you. And a dream collaboration, if I were to do music, well, obviously I'm on the singing one, innit? But you can tell, like, I injured my throat when I was 7, so I can't really, like, hit the pipes before like I used to, innit? But me singing and someone doing up, like, singing, you know what it is? Like, me and, like, I've always said it, yeah, me, Mariah Carey, and Adele, and Dashin Luther Vandross, yeah, we're, like, at par, innit? So I feel like that would be a good collaboration with me. I would say me and Adele. Like, Adele would be more like backup kind of vibe, innit? But yeah, I think that would be a cool little collaboration. Last question is underrated artist you love right now. Underrated. Kid Wild, Leo Stage Trio. They're not really underrated like that, but they're not as big as obviously like a Drake and Dave, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna say Kid Wild, Leo Stage Trio. Luar, actually, he's up there. Louar. He's got a tune called Lose You. Cold. So, the last segment of the show, we discuss what's next, any potential work coming out, and all that kind of good stuff. For myself, I'm working on a short film, should I say. That'll be really cool. I'm not fully confirmed on the name right now, but it's gonna be called The Silence Between Us. And it's not a horror film because that kind of sounds horror-y. But yeah, the film will be good. Hopefully, God willing, it'll be a good film, short film. Should I keep saying? And yeah, hopefully we go into production soon. Kind of at the stage of getting it all patterned up and been so helpful with many people around me. So yeah, what else is coming? As for the brand, always gonna be dropping stuff. You know, having things coming out and all that good stuff. So make sure he's looking out. Oh, we got a retreat coming hopefully for community connectors. So make sure you check that out as well. Music White socials and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's kind of weird, like just me chatting. So yeah, I hope it is enjoyable. You understand a bit more about me. So for future reference, you can never be like, oh, I didn't really know this about Romeo. I've already told you. I probably don't think I've gone into it too well. I'm not the greatest, but anyway, I doubt myself way too much. Hopefully it just comes out good. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're here next time. Make sure you check out the shorts, check out the reels, all of that good stuff. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, probably Facebook, everything. Music Works everywhere. Thank you lot so much for your time. My name's been Romeo, Romy World, I think, on Instagram. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time.